Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari and we were discussing the human rights of various people belonging to different vulnerable groups, and in that series we were discussing the right of old people or aged people. I have already loaded one video on the global scenario as far as the right of old age people, whereas here in this video I am going to give all focus on the aged people right when it comes to Indian scenario. Why to waste time? Let's get into the first slide. While preparing this presentation on the rights of the aged people in Indian scenario, many things came into my mind. So I have added one extra slide for this presentation with the title of Changing Times and the Changing Values. This title is one of the important title and very close to my heart because there is lot of change in Indian scenario as far as the old age people are concerned. Now, Hubert Humphrey says moral test of government is how that government treats those who are in the dawn of life, the children. Dawn means the early days of the life or the beginning of life, or you may compare that with sunrise. So that is the life of children and how much importance that the government is giving. On the other hand, those who are in the twilight of life, that is the elderly. What is twilight? This is almost the end of journey or a kind of sunset. Now the elderly people are almost completing their travel of life and they are going towards death. Now how exactly government is treating them, that is also is the moral test. And the last one is those who are in the shadow of life. You know the meaning of shadow. Who are in the shadow of life, that is the sick people or the needy people or the handicapped people. So it is the moral test to the government that how exactly they are treating the children, the elderly, the sick people, the needy people and the handicapped people. Now if the government is treating them good, then the government is morally good. If not, the government is not morally good. And how exactly that is tested? For that, I am taking the definition of Professor Rusco Pound, who defines right by saying it is an interest recognized, protected, and enforced by law. Now, if you are recognizing some group's interest and protecting them by enforcing the law, that means you are giving lot of importance to them. That way, it becomes very important for any government to become a morally good government. What they have to make laws for the children, for the elderly, and for those people who are sick, needy, and handicapped. That is my first assumption. And now let's move to the changing times and changing values of Indian scenario. What is the change I am discussing about? In the early India, we treated father and mother like Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, that is mother and father. Now, mother and father were treated as God. Now, if we are treating good our mother and father, that means we are coming closer to God because they themselves are God. And if we are not doing that, then we are going away from God or we are not getting moksha. Those were the belief that we had in early India, and we had joint family system. In joint family system, everybody were taken care. The sick people, the orphan people, the widows, everybody was taken care. Likewise, the elderly people had lot of respect, and most of the time the senior most member of the family was the karta. That was the importance was given to the elderly people. Whereas the current India, that is the modern India, the values have changed. We don't see too much of joint family these days. We have got into nuclear family system, and the weightage or the value that we have given to the aged people is going away. That is the tragedy, and now that the government has to come into picture and protect those people who are morally very important for the society. Now that's the beginning of entire discussion, and with that I am taking you to the actual presentation. When we say the issues of elderly people, we cannot say all of them are having the same issues. They are different people, they are living in a different scenarios, and their issues are also different. the issue of a rural elderly people is different from the issue of urban elderly people, or the issue of poor elderly people is different from the issue of middle class or well-to-do income class people, or the issue of female elderly people is different from the issue of the elderly people who are living alone. They are all different people with different issues. Now, if you ask me to make the list of issues, I will bring the roti, kapda and makan in the first place, that is food, shelter and clothing. Along with that, they will have health issues. It may be physiological or physical or psychological. Psychologically, they will have lot of depression and other stuff if they are completely being neglected. There will be loneliness and there can be issues of harassment, abuse, crime, property, emotional harassment, all of that can be there. These are the different issues which are being faced by the elderly people of our society. The legal provisions for the protection of senior citizens in India, if you ask me, were there any serious effort? I will say till 2006 there was no structured effort. There were been lot of efforts, but the first structured effort came in the year 2006 by government tabling a proposal on the Senior Citizens Maintenance, Protection and Welfare Act 2006. Unfortunately, the same could not proceed further. However, on 9th March 2007, the government proposed a bill by name the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Bill 2007. The same got assent by the President of India on 31st December 2007. So this is the first structured act for the maintenance and welfare of the senior people, which is known as Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007. Now in the year 2019, there is an amendment bill produced on the same act, that is the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Amendment Bill 2019. I am going to discuss few of the important provisions from this act along with the 2019 amendment proposal. I have all hopes that this amendment will go through. That is why I have given all the facts with the amendment proposal. So let's try and understand few important provisions from this particular act. While understanding the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007, the first thing we need to understand is who is a senior citizen, which is being defined under section H. Senior citizen is a person who is citizen of India who is above 60 years of age. As easy as that. Now the second question is, who has to take care? It is the responsibility of the children to take care of such senior citizen. Who is children? That is very beautifully defined under section 2A. The children includes son or daughter, and they may be biological son or daughter or adoptive or step, and it also includes son-in-law and daughter-in-law, and it also includes grandson and granddaughter, and it also includes if any of them are minor also. That is the beauty of this particular section. And if such senior citizen doesn't have any children, in that case who will take care? Then the relatives come to picture. These relatives must be legal heirs of such senior citizen. That means if such senior citizen dies, in that case the property will go to them. They are called as relative. That is the responsibility of the relatives to take care of such senior citizen, excluding a minor. That is one exception you need to remember. Now what that they have to take care? That is defined under section 2B and section 2K. It covers both maintenance and welfare. What is maintenance? It includes roti, kapda, makan, that is food, clothing, housing, medical attendance, treatment, safety and security. Whereas welfare includes food, housing, clothing, safety, security, healthcare, recreation and other amenities necessary for the well-being of parents and senior citizens. The next important question is how much one has to pay as the maintenance towards his parents or senior citizens. In the earlier act, it was very clearly mentioned as rupees 10,000 max, but however, with the changing time, the cost of living also increased. So 2019 amendment coming up with the amount which is sufficient for the standard of living of the senior citizen, and it shall be fixed on the basis of the earning of child. Now that is the important aspect coming in. So it can be much more than rupees 10,000. That is one important aspect you need to remember as far as section 9.1 and section 9.2 is concerned. And the next immediate question is, what if not paid? Now there is an order from the tribunal, but someone is not paying. In that case, the aggrieved party, that is the parents or senior citizens, can go to appellate tribunal within 60 days of such breach. The next important aspect is the punishment provisions. Section 24 discusses about the same, and in the earlier act, that is Act 2007, the maximum punishment was imprisonment up to 3 months or fine of rupees 5,000 rupees or both. Whereas the proposal under the Amendment Act 2019, the same is proposed up to 6 months of imprisonment or 10,000 rupees fine or both. The next important provision that I am discussing is maintenance officer, which is discussed under section 18.1, whose responsibility will be the ensuring compliance with the orders on maintenance payment to the parents or senior citizens from their children or relatives, and act as a liaison for parents or senior citizens. The last provision that I am discussing is section 2J, which discusses about senior citizens care home. These are the homes which can be established and managed by the central government or the state government, or they can be registered by the central or state government via voluntary organizations or private organizations or non-governmental organizations, that is NGOs, or through societies or through trust. Now, what is the purpose of senior citizens care home? These are the homes which will provide residential facilities for senior citizens for their care and welfare. I think I have 3 more provisions which are very important that we need to understand, which are related to senior citizens care home, healthcare and helpline. Now that we know what is senior citizens care home, but under section 19.1, it is clear that such senior citizens care home should be in accessible places. Now what is healthcare? Under section 19.4, it is very clear that the central government shall prescribe minimum standards for those setup which are taking care of the health of the senior citizens, like the multi-service daycare centers, which need to have the right infrastructure, medical facilities, physical aids, food, recreation, hygiene and sanitation, appropriate staff, safety and security, etc. Under section 22.4, there is a proposal of having an helpline which need to be provided by the state government, which need to have the collaboration between the healthcare facilities, police department and other related agencies, and they all need to have a common number across the nation. This is what discussed under section 22.4. The last part that I am discussing here is the condition of other laws when it comes to the senior citizens' right. The first thing that I am referring as always is Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution part 3 discusses about fundamental right, which discusses about the rights of the citizens of India, which is applicable to all citizens including the aged people. I will conclude it there because all the fundamental rights are the rights of the aged people also. The next part, that is part 4, is about directive principle of state policy. Whatever is applicable for the benefit of the citizens of India under part 4, that is DPSP, is equally applicable to the senior citizens also. And I am not going to discuss too much about that because you being the student of Constitution, you can bring in articles and write the same for the benefit of the senior citizens. The next act that I am referring is National Policy for Older Persons, which came in the year 1999. Here all males who are above 60 years are getting 30% concession in train tickets, and if they are female, they will get 50% concession in the train ticket. For male adults or male elders who are more than 60 years, it will be 30% concession, and female aged people, they will get 50% concession, and there is a provision for them for a separate counter, and they will have separate berth request also available for them. And if any senior citizen of India, I have already defined what is senior citizen. I am discussing everything about all those people who are above 60 years and they are Indian citizens. Now they will have a benefit from Air India where they will get 45% concession if they are traveling by economy class. The third law that I am discussing is the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956, under which section 20 is discussing about the maintenance of children and aged persons. The fourth act, that is Income Tax Act 1961, which gives certain benefit to the aged citizens of India by having section 88B, 88D and 88DDB. The last section, which is one of the most important section coming from the CRPC 1974, that is section 125. I have an independent playlist for CRPC, but section 125 video I have also copied in human rights law, because if you refer and understand this particular section, you can independently write one para when you are writing the rights of the women or the rights of the children or the rights of the aged person, because section 125 is on order for maintenance of wives, children and parents. So this is one of the biggest right available to them under CRPC. So you need to write at least 3 to 4 lines on section 125 of CRPC whenever you are addressing these people human rights. So I have copied the presentation or that video in the playlist. Before concluding, remember, when aged are telling stories, please listen to them, because they have lot of wisdom with the experience of life. And when you are treating them, remember your children are watching. If you are not treating your parents good or your mother-in-law or father-in-law good, in that case your children will not take care of the aged, because they are learning from you. If you are unable to take care of the aged people today, tomorrow you will also become aged and people will not take care of you. And whenever there is a discussion on the aged people rights, etc., we need to fight for that, because over a period of time we are also going to travel in that boat. With that, I am concluding. That's my time on the rights of the aged. With that, I am signing off, and thank you so much for watching my channel. Please subscribe, please like, share and comment my videos. All the very best for whatsoever purpose you are referring my channel, and thanks again.